Hi, I'm Len Eckeberger, and I get asked a lot of the questions that search teams get asked when they are searching for a pastor. One frequently asked question is, doesn't the search team really make the decision about who the next pastor will be? It's imperative that a church select a pastor search team. The logistical nightmare of trying to carry an entire congregation through the multi-layered deliberations required in discovering, qualifying, interviewing, and selecting, and then presenting a candidate to a church would be ineffective at best and insufficient at least. We need search teams. However, search teams know that the pastor they ultimately present to the church must be acceptable by the church, not merely by the team. If a search team does not deliberately find multiple ways to include the congregation prior to that final presentation of the candidate, then most members conclude that, in truth, the search team has de facto made the choice of the next pastor. The search team may be way out on a very thin limb. No search team wants to give the impression to a candidate or to their fellow church members that the team has made the decision of the next pastor. What happens if it's a mismatch? The team takes the guilt and criticism all upon itself. Although they no longer meet as a team, somehow the church remembers who they were, and they sort of put the blame and the shame right on top of their shoulders. So it's pretty imperative that a search team make sure that there's no impression that they are choosing the next pastor. In order to give an appropriate answer of no to this question, doesn't the search team really make the decision for who our next pastor will be? There has to be ample proof to the contrary. The team should gather input from the church members regarding their expectations of their next pastor, but with even wiggle room to call such descriptions a near guide rather than a mandate. You don't want to be in a spot where you're having to fill the bill of what you've received from the congregation members. Having gathered the input from the members, the team can speak relative to the input so that it's evident that the team has not created the expectations on its own. Care should be given not to describe what the church aspires to be, but rather what it perspires to be, if you catch the meaning. In other words, what their actions really are and what they really produce, rather than statements like, "We want to be a congregation that." At the least, it puts the congregation on alert as to the impression the candidate will have of them, not just the fact that they want to gain an impression of the candidate. It's important to involve the congregation in these simple steps. The primary assurance to the congregation that the search team does not decide the next pastor is to demonstrate frequently and transparently to the congregation that the team earnestly and consistently are asking for God's choice to be made, and for it to be made known to the team, to the candidate, and to the church. A consistent experience of prayer and inclusion of God's involvement is a sure way to assure the choice of the next pastor will not be made by the search team. I hope that helps. And if I can help you further, just contact me. I'm Len at www.searchingforapastor.org.